All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Performance Check, a live play D&D show previously from the stage, now from the comfort of your very own home. Everyone, welcome to the show. The title of this show is The Firstborn and the Unicorn, and this is Performance Check Queerly Edition as part of the Queerly Frigid Festival. Yes. Excellent. And with all that out of the way, we don't have to tell you about fire exits or to go to the bar. Please feel free to drink as you're playing. We will all be drinking here, one way or another. If you should know the fire exits in your own home, so be prepared for that. And with that all out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Kingdom of Leyline, a beautiful green kingdom of magic, a kingdom of artists, artisans, and adventurers, all leading fulfilling and successful lives. The crime rate has never been lower, and the glitter to citizen ratio has never been higher. And it's no wonder things are so wonderful. Leyline is at the height of the age of heroes. For a long time, heroes worked as independent contractors, paid only in small stipends when they weren't being outright exploited by villagers and lords. Something had to change. And fortunately for us, 33 years ago, one of the greatest heroes in the land, named William Hi-Ho Sweetveet, brought together a number of other famous heroes and created the Heroes Guild. The new guild was a success, and almost overnight it became one of the most important institutions in all the land. Now the Heroes Guild sends out their members to vanquish evil, reclaim relics, and do the occasional fantasy pest control. We join 4 of their apprentice members on an epic adventure that will take them across the land of Leyline and last around 80 minutes. Begin by meeting our heroes.
All right. I'm Jimmy Levitt. My pronouns are they, them. And I play Mittens. Mittens is an awakened cat, like just a cat like you might find on your windowsill. Mittens is a tortoiseshell and doesn't really do pronouns because like cats don't super do gender. It's like a whole thing. And Mitten's sexuality would be other awakened cats.
Very niche.
Yeah. So
there's an app for that.
But no thumbs, can't like.
Oh.
I'm Tess Henry. I'm going to be, my pronouns are she, her. I'm playing Storm Barnett. Pronouns also she, her. I play Storm is a arcane trickster Aasimar, meaning that I just got a little bit of angels in my blood. It's kind of what that boils down to. You'll see. Storm, when asked what her sexuality is, for the most part, will just say yes. That's just about the vibe.
Amazing.
And my name, the devil on the other side of that angel coin, is Randoral Torza the third. You can call him Randy. But my name is Marielle, she, her pronouns. Randy uses he, him pronouns. His sexual orientation is things with pulses.
Oh.
Although if you don't have a pulse, then you're undead, and that's a new kind of weird.
Oh, good. Excellent. And I'm Connor Mullen. I'm the Dungeon Master, which is a sexuality all unto itself.
You're right, though.
Yeah. I'll be playing all the other characters in the story, as well as crafting the story as we go along. One way to think of it is if our adventurers are the queer community, then I'm cis straight people in that I cause most of the problems. Shout out to all my cis straight people out there in the audience tonight. You're great. And with the introductions out of the way, let's get right back into the story. Our story begins in the Kingdom of Leyline's capital city, the city of New Foci. 2/3 of the citizens of Leyline live in small towns, farms, and various intimate communities. The other third lives in the kingdom's capital city, New Foci. The city, located in the southeast corner of the kingdom, is bordered by stone walls and the sea. Containing a massive port as well as the castle where the kingdom monarchs live, New Foci is the center of trade and politics for the whole kingdom. It also attracts many of the richest citizens of the kingdom, especially those seeking the ear and influence of the high court. Within New Foci, different neighborhoods are given different nicknames, sometimes for the history of the area, sometimes for the beings that make the area their home, and so on and so forth. One neighborhood attracted the wealthiest citizens, its giant manors and pristine streets the perfect place to flaunt your wealth. Since it's located near the castle's eastern wall, the farthest point from the castle's main western gate, and contains so much accumulated wealth, it's known as Rear Golden by those who live there. Of course, anyone who doesn't live there prefers to call it the Golden Rear if they're speaking in mixed company, or the Golden Butt if they're around their friends. That is the location that our adventure picks up from. It's twilight. Walking along the main thoroughfare in Rear Golden, the three of you are looking for a specific manor. Up ahead, one house is very well illuminated despite the late hours. The house is hidden behind a 20-foot tall stone wall snaked with various vines. Laughter and music can be heard beyond. The only way through seems to be an open gate up ahead. An iron arch over the gate spells out the words Garden House in a leafy font. You've been told to wait down the street from the gate to this house, and your contact will meet you there. It seems like this is the first time the three of you have been adventuring together. What do you all talk about to pass the time while you wait for your contact?
I don't think that Storm usually offers up much points of conversation. I think that she is like not loving this like very wealthy city that they're in. Mm-hmm. So I think there's been a lot of references to like how she cannot wait to get out of this butthole. Just written refers to it as the butthole. Like she's like, get me out of this godforsaken butthole.
Yep.
Randy is also upset at being at this butthole because in Drow society, there are usually about 6 sacrifices by now this late into the party, and they don't seem to have one. I haven't heard one bloodthirsty scream so far.
That's true. There have been 0 sacrifices that you've encountered.
Which is rubbish. It's simply medieval.
Yeah. Good. So as you're talking about the quantity of sacrifices that have happened so far this evening, a carriage passes by, and it's one of those small carriages that has like just room for 1 or 2 people and is like has people carrying the outsides. Is there like there's like probably a special name for it?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots. I don't want to say it and then be wrong.
So one of those pictured in your mind's eye, and then and it stops right in front of the three of you, and the curtain parts, and behind the curtain is a very small child. You estimate like 6 or so years old. And he's wearing what is like the fantasy equivalent of the little like sailor suit that they put like fancy kids in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's wearing like the fantasy version of that. It's clearly just decorative. And
he kind of looks like one of those Sound of Music kids.
Yeah. And he looks out and he says, Daddy, I want that cat. Give me that cat. Get me that cat, please. And then the curtain parts a little bit more, and there's another figure, taller. It's a taller human, very well groomed with a large handlebar mustache. And the figure says, "Oh, that cat? That's a Grangy street cat. We don't want any such cat as that in our fabulous home. I don't think so." And then the small child says, "But I really want the cat. Give me the cat." And then the man says, "Very well then. Hey, you over there. Is that your cat?" Pointing at Storm.
Yeah, this is my cat.
How much do you want for the cat?
I'm gonna say, can you fellas give me a second with my cat just to see if the connection's still really there before I decide whether or not I want to sell you this cat. Just give me less, a minute or less. Okay. I'm gonna turn to Mittens and be like, "Hey, do you want to get into that party?"
Will there be food?
I'm sure that if they buy you from me, we can split the money, and then you can get away from them once you're inside, and we can follow you in.
Okay.
It's true. I can cast my hunter's mark upon you.
I'm gonna turn to the people and be like, "I'll sell you the cat, but it's a pretty expensive cat. This is the best cat in possibly all the land."
I highly doubt it's the best cat in all the land. I'll give you 5 gold for the cat.
Ooh, see, that's not gonna
Ooh.
cut it. I was kind of thinking about selling the cat already, and it's kind of 50 gold or nothing.
50 gold and nothing.
Yeah, it's a good cat.
I suppose I could go as high as 20 gold for the cat, but not a penny higher.
Sure. Disappoint your kid. And I turn to the kid and I go, if you don't have this cat, are you going to throw a temper tantrum? How bad for you is it going to be if I take this cat away from you?
Sounds like you're trying to like persuade.
I'm trying to do something in this situation. I want 50 gold for Mittens.
Persuasion, or
I assure you, we have a pedigree for this cat. This line is marvelous. It's won many awards.
Very well. If you show me the pedigree of the cat, I'll go up to 50 gold and hold out a hand for the cat pedigree papers.
I have my own pedigree that I hand to him, and I say, I am a royal cat breeder, and I left my pedigree in my other clutch at home, so we'll have to make some kind of meeting out of it. You just have to take my word on it.
All right, that's definitely a deception check. So go ahead and roll
Oh,
deception.
no.
Unless you are actually a top cat breeder, is that part of your?
Yeah, sure. No, I'm kidding.
Can I have given help because I started this whole situation?
Ooh, I rolled a 17.
That's, well, let's see. I guess I gotta have this character do things. Okay, that is better than a 17. That is your 17 is better than my roll. Sorry.
Nice.
Oh.
That is fine. All right, great. It says, really a famous cat breeder, you say? What's the name of the family that you're of cat breeding that you are from?
The Breeder family.
Oh, the Tabreeder family. I have heard of them. They are most impressive. They have a most impressive lineage. The very luck of us encountering a cat of such marvelous lineage. Someone, Randorl, can you roll an insight check?
All right.
Can I do one as well?
No, I got a 4 on the die.
You gotta, okay. And then...
Hang on.
+0.
Yeah, I got a 18.
I got a 20.
Storm, you are impressed that you know he's clearly lying. He has no idea who this family is. He's just trying to seem important.
Yeah.
Randy, you are impressed that you came up with the actual name of a cat breeding family.
Of course I did. Of course I did. It's somewhere in my memory, somewhere, I'm sure.
He opens the carriage and the small child runs over to scoop up Mittens. Mittens, what do you do?
Am I wearing my little kitty accoutrement?
That's your call.
I usually have my little bags. I mean, I think if we were going out to do we were trying to be on the DL, I might have given my little kitty saddlebags to Storm to hang on to in case I need to sneak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the child gentle?
The child has not picked you up yet. The child is just sort of running over, hands outstretched.
I'm braced.
Okay. The child scoops you up in that way you can pick up cats where you pick them up under the arms and they're just kind of like this.
Long cat.
Yeah. And then rushes back to the cart and sort of heaves you in and goes in after. Hey, we split the party.
I give Storm a very dirty look.
I asked you first if you would
Split the party right away.
He hands you 50 gold.
Okay.
So
I'm offended he didn't want Bethany. My spider, of course.
Of course. Is Bethany out and about in the open, visible? How big is Bethany?
I probably left her somewhere else where you guys haven't met Bethany yet, and then I just summon her.
Okay, cool. That's perfect.
Well, not summon her. I do my little Bethany whistle.
And then she just sort of like scurries over.
Yeah.
How big is this spider? Just for our...
Bethany's the size of a horse. She's a black widow the size of a horse. I can ride her.
Amazing.
The most terrifying thing you've ever said. Spider horse? I mean, it's
Spider horse.
You brought this into the city?
Well, yes, of course I would. Why wouldn't I? She is from a top breed. Forget the lineage of a mongrel cat.
All right, hang on. Mittens is a good friend.
Your carriage is already going away.
I was planning on. I mean, we're waiting for our contact, but I was planning on trying to sneak into that party anyway with a good ruse. So
before, so just as that the carriage starts to go away, Mittens, we'll come back to you in a minute. Someone walks up to the two of you who are still standing there. Someone in sort of a hooded cloak, and sort of taps Storm on the shoulder.
I almost punch him, but I don't.
Okay.
Okay.
A figure in a cloak, but it's a very small figure, like 4 feet tall, 4.5. Not like halfling short, but a little bit bigger than that. And then the figure pulls back the hood, and it's a very short, very old lady with sort of that warrior's wolf tail haircut.
Uh-huh.
Avatar recently, so I know what that is. It's like a ponytail, but shorter and cooler.
Yeah.
And though she looks very soft and old, she's got a nice smile. Her eyes look kind of dangerous. She's got sort of danger in her eyes, and she says, "Oh, so you must be the heroes that I asked to meet me here. Is that true? Are you the members of the Heroes Guild?"
Yes.
Speaking.
Technically, we are working with that place.
Yes, we're absolutely working with the Heroes Guild. We're esteemed members of the Heroes Guild.
Now, quiet down. I don't want to give the game away too quickly. And I was told there would be 3 of you.
One of ours is on recon right now.
Oh, excellent. Getting ahead in things. Very smart, very smart. Well, I'll get right to it. The good Garden House family is having a party this evening, and, well, I suspect foul play. I think the Garden House family has made some sort of evil magical deal. You see, one of the problems with the city of No Foci is that flowers and most plants don't grow within the walls since the soil is so foul from being in a city for so long.
As she's saying for being in a city, I say for being a butthole.
No.
I'm confused because this is like how any average party in the Underdark is.
Amazing. It's like a deal.
Yeah.
And she says, and so I wanted to hire you to go in and figure out what is going on. You see, I have a suspicion that they've enlisted some like animals or woodland creatures to do their bidding and help them create flowering plants, like some fairies or something like that. So I want you to go in and rescue whatever they've captured. I don't know what it is yet, but that's the basic idea. And I picked tonight because, there's a party.
So you need us to crash a party. Do you have any way for us to get in?
What a great question. I do, in fact, have some options.
Okay.
You could get in. Here's a couple of ideas that I had, and you might have your own as well. My first idea was, and she pulls from her from the folds of her robe a piece of paper with some fancy designs on it. I made a fake invitation for the party. And I thought you could take this invitation and pretend to be fancy people and get into the party that way. That's one idea. I have 2 more. The second idea I have is, and she pulls out sort of a box that she's also got in the folds of her robe, and she opens it, and it's like some sort of like weird of uniforms. And she says, I got a few of the uniforms that the waitstaff are using for the party tonight, and I figured that you could dress up as waiters and sneak in the back. And the third way is this, and she steps aside, and it turns out she's standing directly over a sewer manhole cover. And she points down and she says, I bet you could sneak in through the sewers.
I'm going to say...
All of these options are underneath me.
I'm going to say...
That's very good.
I'm going to say I kind of have an idea of what we can do here, though I think the sewer should be our plan B. I think that if what I try doesn't work, we should maybe try plan B, which is the sewers.
I refuse to go in a sewer.
I will need that that invitation that you made.
Excellent. You can have it. She hands you the invitation.
Cool. Storm is going to take a moment and make sure that she's out of sight of everyone else.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Disguise Self at a first level. Sorry, I'm wearing sunglasses in a dark room, which is my own fault, but which essentially, it's an action for an hour. I make myself, including my clothing, armor, weapons, and other belongings on your person, look different until the spell ends or until you use your action to dismiss it. You can seem 1 foot shorter or taller. I'm gonna turn into my famous sister Bunny Barnett, who is a famous adventurer. As I do this, the whole time I'm going fuck, fuck, I don't want to. Okay, God, fucking okay, fuck. And I turn into Bunny. Bunny in a party dress, essentially, because I can change my clothing that I'm wearing. And I turned to Randorl, and I was like, "You want to walk in, pretend to be my date?"
My God, is somebody? You look so similar to Bunny.
And she's maybe my sister. I'm not. Please don't talk about it with me very much.
How fabulous! We'll have to talk about this after the mission. But
no, we really. Fun fact, we don't. And then I moved to go inside.
Oh, you look just like Bunny Barnett. She's one of my favorite heroes, but that just makes me one of so many people who think Bunny is the greatest hero of all time.
My God, I know, right?
Hero is such a strong word to describe her. I mean, sure, is she strong? Fine. But also, is she a colossal bitch? Yes.
She did sign one of my T-shirts when she came to the Underdark.
I hate every one of you.
Excellent. So you're gonna.
But yeah, I'll be her date.
You're gonna try to sneak into this party dressed as Bunny Barnett, huh?
We're arm in arm as we kind of walk in with this invitation.
Cool. There's you see that there's sort of it's a big gate, and there's sort of 2 people manning the entrance. One is dealing with small carriages that are coming in, and so as you look, you do see the same 2-person carrying carriage.
Yeah.
And Mittens is in, going through the entrance ahead of you. And let's switch over actually on that note. As you're in line, in the just in-person line waiting to get in, let's switch over and see what's going on with Mittens at the same time. So Mittens, you're in this car. There's 2 people in it. There's this dad and his small son. And the child says, I think I'm going to name you Noodles. Going to be my cat Noodles. Do you like that, Noodles? Do you do anything? You just do.
Oh.
I think she likes that. And then the older man says, "All right, now, but I do expect that you'll be on your best behavior when we're in there, and we'll leave the cat in the carriage, right? Because there's no need for you to be taking this creature in with you." And the child sort of looks down sadly. He's like, "All right, I guess that's fair." And Mittens is just being cute. You're not going to tell them that you talk?
No, I just meow at them.
Okay, I like that. Okay, great. So you're they get out and they leave you in the carriage.
The carriage is just fabric, right?
No, it's like I mean, I think it's like doors. It's made of wood. It's a little wooden box thing, but I think it's not it's made of doors. It's made of wood and there's doors on it. there's probably no like glass in the window panes or anything like that, so you can just hop out of it.
Yeah, like doesn't sound especially cat-proof.
Yeah. And we'll cut back and we'll go to our good friends trying to sneak in on a date.
We should be riding on Bethany
No.
because she's got like a gilded saddle.
No.
Are you sure you don't want? She's big enough for two.
100%. Is there some like fey pocket you could put her into so that she's not here? That would be actually the best thing to do with her.
Bethany, go find yourself something to eat. Daddy will be back later.
Bethany just sort of like scurries over the wall and into the party and like off in the distance.
No. Oh God damn it.
Through the darkness, very quiet, very stealthy, like.
Oh God, she's magnificent.
Does she make like a sound? Is it like, did she do like a clicky thing, or is there like a
clicky thing? She's like creepy. The clicky thing, venom is dripping from it. It falls at like baseball sized globs at our feet.
There's like, it's sort of like the stone is sort of eroding away around the piece of venom. It's not like disappearing, but it's clearly like rusting or something to the equivalent. Yeah. Excellent. So you get to the front of the line, and at the front of the line there is a very tall elf wearing a fancy suit with a lot of frills and bits of sort of like, I don't know what, not like extravagance, but sort of like flair all across it. And the elf says, invitation, please.
Yes, of course. Our invitation is right here.
And he looks at you and okay. He looks at you and then sort of brushes it off, takes the invitation, and then says, very good. If I may ask, how do you know the Garden House family?
Oh, I mean, I'm Bunny Barnett, and I've traveled this world and I've saved many, many people. And it was a crazy incident a while back. There was a runaway cart, if you can believe it, and it was barreling toward, and I just start like going, and I tell the story of like, one of Bunny's successes, and I end it with, and it was barreling toward the center of this town, and, and there's only one way that I could stop it because I'm Bunny Barnett, and, and they were there, and they still let me know that anytime that I was in town, I could pop by, and I found out they were having a party tonight, and well, I mean, that was too much. I had to come say hi.
Interesting. Let's see. Do you think that would be a persuasion check, or?
I'm trying to persuade, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me think.
Roll some persuasion.
Persuasion. Yeah, okay, they're both the same. Okay, cool. That feels right. Come on, baby. Can I get help from Randorl? Is he helping me at all?
I just look at the guard in a smoldering kind of way, just looking directly at him in the eye. And I wink.
Can I get the help action from that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to butter him up, I guess.
Cool. That's gonna mean 18.
Oh, God's sake. All right. He seems quite convinced. And he says, "Very good. Welcome to the event. Most of the guests are gathering in the main ballroom straight up the path there. If you just follow the illuminated pumpkins, you'll get there in no time. Thank you. Enjoy the party."
And what's your...
And right before he sort of stops, will you be dropping off any gifts for the young master?
Absolutely, we will. And do tell me, what is your name?
My name is Zachary. I am the head butler.
Zachary, it is very nice to meet you. My name is Randor. You may call me Randy.
I'm gonna be giving them the gift of my personal services at an event as a bodyguard of some sorts.
Oh, very good. I'm sure Miss Yakasone will be very excited for that.
Zachary, I must say that the grounds are so impeccably kept. Do you know what kind of service this is, so that I might hire them for my own Underdark manor?
I'm
We have
sure
too
they
many
don't-
skeletons on the property. It's hideous.
Of course, of course. I'm sure they wouldn't be available. All gardeners we have are exclusive to the Garden House family.
Oh,
Oh,
interesting.
it is. Enjoy the party. And he sort of like ushers you forward. And then you all are in.
We lost Jimmy.
We lost
Yeah.
Jimmy.
Here we go. Jimmy.
No!
Jimmy's back. Jimmy's gone. Jimmy's back.
Jimmy's here.
Am I frozen for y'all?
No, you're back.
Okay, cool. My computer's being weird, but if it's working on your end, then that's fine.
Cool.
Yeah, we're good. We got you. And so let's see a little bit about what's. Here's a question. So this spider, Bethany, is the spider?
Bethany.
Bethany. Does Bethany like? If Bethany ran into like random people, would Bethany know not to eat them, or like, where she sort of live?
I would hope so, unless she's very hungry.
Got it. Okay, cool. All right, good to know.
She's smart. She's capable.
So, Mittens, you're in the carriage. What do you do?
I'm gonna hop on out, and can I see where not Bunny and Co are coming in?
I think if you went outside and sort of looked around, I bet you could catch them because they have to sort of cross along a path that's illuminated to get into the main ballroom.
Okay, yeah. So I think I'm like kind of following along like at the edge of where the light hits. So
Give me a stealth check with advantage.
22.
Okay, that's good. And then give me a perception check.
Am I using smell or hearing?
Sure.
That's good. Because I will. 12.
12. Wow. Amazing. Okay, cool. So you
There's a lot happening. It's
you
distracting.
remain unseen, but you don't intersect with Randy or Storm. It looks like they must have beaten you inside or something like that before you could get out.
I actually wanted to say Storm maybe would have wanted to, instead of going right to the ballroom, to
Wait
like
around.
take a moment to like, because we heard that the root of this issue is like something involving the garden or the like plants growing, right? So
Yeah.
I would have wanted to go out to the garden or out back or something.
So yeah, go ahead.
Don't I have? I think I still have Hunter's mark on Mittens.
Oh, you do? Oh, perfect.
Yes, I do.
Great. Then you all managed to meet up outside. And
Perfect.
so when you get through the gate, there's a path illuminated with various gourds that have all had parts cut out so they can be made into lanterns. The ground is much greener than anywhere else in the city of New Foci. There is beautiful greenery all over the place. There's some trees, and all the buildings have like vines snaking up the side of it, which it's not that there's no parks or anything in New Foci, but nothing on the scale of this. It's very impressive. There are flower beds and gardens all over the place. So it doesn't seem like there's like a garden. It seems like there's a whole bunch of them. The big ballroom where up ahead, one thing you can see from the outside is that the ceiling of it is made of glass. So the whole ballroom almost seems like a gigantic greenhouse up in front of you. You get the impression that it's not so much that there's one part of this property that's the garden as everything here is a little bit the garden, and there's greenery almost everywhere.
All right, cool. Then I guess I am going forward.
All right, y'all meet up and then head on into the party.
Mhm.
Can I continue stealthing?
You, that's your call. If you want to continue to be stealthy, or you want to just sort of like, act like you belong or whatever.
I think it will continue to be stealthy until we get somewhere like a little more crowded.
Great. I think you're good outside, and I think you just need to roll a stealth check to sneak into the ballroom because there's some guards outside the ballroom.
That's gonna be a 24.
24. Okay, that's very good. You managed to sneak into the ballroom, and the rest of you follow suit inside.
Manage.
Yeah, I go into the ballroom.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's just skip all this delightful sewer content I created.
This DM struggle.
Yeah. It's okay. I'll save it for another time. It was really good. There was like a random encounter table, and the next time. The gigantic ballroom is full of the creme de la creme of the Garden House elite. There's a 12-piece band playing classical dance music off to one side, and many buffet tables with delicious fruits and vegetables on the other end of the large room. You'd notice no meat, interestingly enough. At the center, pairs and small groups engage in some traditional dances, while others watch from the sidelines. The most impressive feature of this room, however, is of course the gigantic dome ceiling, made almost entirely of glass. It provides a breathtaking view of the starry night sky as moonlight streams down into the hall. There's a party. What do you do? There's sort of like people mingling about.
I'm gonna turn.
My God, will I dance?
Well, I want to, before everyone starts dancing, I want to turn to them first and be like, "Hey, don't eat anything. The lady that sent us here thinks that this could be Faye. Don't eat anything. Don't get into a contract with anybody. Don't eat anything. Go have fun."
Okay.
I twirl away.
You twirl away.
I twirl away.
Great. Is anyone gonna try to do? Let's go ahead and give me a performance check.
Hey.
Hey, drink if you're drinking on your end.
Yeah.
I don't know.
15 plus 2. 17.
17. That is. Everyone is suitably impressed. There are some murmurs from a couple people who are dancing, and I think like there's maybe a pair. There's like two women who are dancing together, and they both sort of look at you and then like look at each other. And as they're walking away, I hear one of them mutter like, "You hear one of them mutter like, we should have taken that second class." And then like they go off. Like people are really like, "Oh, very impressive," you know, that kind of thing. Cool. What else do people do?
I'm kind of trying to suss out this situation. Like I don't really care about rich people or this stupid party. It's too boring anyway. Nobody's fighting. So I'm basically just like, I'm on a mission. I'm here to figure out what the fuck's up with like the gardening or whatever the lady wanted us to look at, you know?
Do you want to look for like, so you're trying to find something specific in the ballroom?
I might be trying to talk to people actually and kind of like get the vibe of like this family. How long is there like wow, the grounds here look so gorgeous. Do they always look this gorgeous? And then like try to subtly be like, they look almost nicer here than other places. Like see if anybody knows anything about like the timeline here or like when this started looking better.
So
sorry,
would you just sort of walk up to somebody, start a conversation?
I mean, yeah, try to start a normal conversation first and be like, you know, and then get into like the grounds are gorgeous here. Yeah.
So I think you tap someone on the shoulder, get them to be like start a conversation, and turns around and it is indeed the man from outside with the handlebar mustache who just recently bought your cat. But he of course doesn't recognize who you are.
Yeah.
And he turns and he says, "Well, I'll be damned. I never thought they'd let the likes of you in here. Bonnie Barnett, as I live and breathe, I am a tremendous fan. You are so talented and so incredible." And he starts like he pulls like a little scrap of parchment out of his pocket. He's like, "I would be honored if you would give me an autograph." Yeah, sure. I wanted to. I'll give you this autograph, but I wanted to know how well do you know this family here that's throwing this lovely party for us? Oh,
and I'm like signing in Bunny's signature as I.
Oh, quite well. The Crushings, of course. You might remember me. We actually met at an event you were having for Dance Away the Undead. A couple years ago, we shook hands briefly, but you were very busy. If you don't remember, no problem. Arthur Crushing, of course. Arthur Crushing III is my name, and I just am so excited to meet you again, of course. And yes, we've known the Garden House family for many, many years. They're fantastic, wonderful family, although I'm surprised they invited you, given their history with heroes.
Well, it's you save someone's life and they're grateful. What's the other history though? I only know people who I help very tangentially.
Oh, of course. Why should you be concerning yourself with the little people as well? I mean, you are so incredible and so smart and so impeccably clever. Do you remember? No, I'm sorry. I can't let this turn into another one of those moments. I'm running my mouth. No, but of course.
Please tell me more about the Garden House family.
Of course. Well, rumor has it that Lady Yakison Garden House, of course, the matriarch of the whole family, has some problem with the professional hero industry. I think it's somehow related to her son, but I don't know much more than that. Just gossip at the tables,
Yes, no, of course. There's people have opinions on the professional hero industry. Some people think that it's, bastardizing an amazing tradition of heroes and really glorifying people who don't deserve to be put on a pedestal. I don't feel that way myself.
The worst kinds of people.
Yeah, I'm gonna go have a drink or 5.
I find the most other preposterous looking person here.
You want to find another preposterous looking person. Okay, there is I think one of the most preposterous looking people. There's sort of a crowd of people that's gathered around somebody. And all you can see is sort of a large pair of horns poking over the top of the group. But then the group disperses, and behind them is a very large, dressed in a very fine suit, and has sort of a jeweled crown on his head, a very large minotaur. And he says, thank you very much for the kind words, but it's not that special. It's just another year of being alive. I think I'm going to go get a drink. And he starts walking over to the refreshments.
Mike, I rush up to him. My God, it's so good to see you again. It's so nice to see you.
He looks to you, and he's down to you, and he says, right. It's so nice to see you too. I'm sorry. I'm re-meeting and meeting so many people at this party. Can you remind me who you are again?
Yes, don't worry about it. It's Randy, and make sure not to forget it this time. But
oh, of course, Randy never would forget it again.
No, of course. Don't even worry about it. Isn't this what another wonderful soiree? I cannot believe the parties that the Garden Houses throw.
Oh, well, my family has been working very hard to set this one up, and we always try to go a little bit extra. After all, people don't get much greenery if they're not at Garden House.
Exactly. So you work yourself on the greenery? And sorry, what is your name again? I'm so sorry. I feel like such a two-face, but God, I was just so dazzled by your impressive stature that...
Oh, fine. You forget the name of the guest of honor, the birthday boy himself. Well, Boggle Greenhouse is the name, of course.
Fuck me. God, yes, happy birthday! My God, happy birthday! I must have had a few too many wines, but yes, your gardening service is impeccable. I have to find my date at some point and introduce you. So let me go get another drink.
All right. And he sort of just mills about the party. A lot of people coming up to congratulate him and wish him well and everything.
I find Storm and I'm like, found him.
Good. Cool and good.
What are you up to?
Me?
Yeah.
I would like to see if I can locate my new young friend.
Great. Roll a investigation check, I think.
It's an 11.
All right. You know what? You do see him for a second, but he is because he's low to the ground where you are, and there's all these legs and stuff as people are moving around. You see him sort of briefly, and then he disappears again off into the crowd. So he's here. You're not sure exactly where here, though.
Can I do something with his smell to find him?
Ooh, sure. Do you wanna try to track him?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, what's your bone? What do you get your bonus for smell? Is it perception?
Perception.
I'll let you do a perception check as well.
Yay.
Because we're querying Dungeons and Dragons tonight. So we just let you roll multiple checks.
All right, that's a 19.
Well, darn it. Okay, cool. So you follow, and it looks like he has ducked under one of the tables. There are a bunch of tables set up around the space for people to like sit at, at it like a dance. And there is he's ducked under one of the tables, and you see in each hand he has a large piece of cake, vanilla in one hand, chocolate in the other, and he's just sort of taking bites of one and then the other. The front of his shirt is all messed up. His little adventuring sailor suit is all covered in icing. And that's
Is this like a table with a tablecloth down like to the ground?
It doesn't go all the way to the ground, but it like halfway down. So if someone like ducked down, they could see him, but he's not so obvious. You have to duck pretty far.
Okay, cool. So I'll kind of hop under there and check out this scene.
Okay. He as you pop under there, he says with his mouth full, "Noodles, how did you get out of where we kept you? You're such a clever little kitty. I can't wait for you to come home and meet Rufus and Jared, my 2 dogs."
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, kid. Sorry.
Doodles, did you speak?
It's Mittens, actually, because of the Mittens.
No, it's Noodles, because I picked it and I'm in charge of you.
Sure, kid. So, you know anything about this shindig?
No, Daddy says we have to go to these parties to be seen, but I don't want to be seen. I just want to eat cake and sit.
That's a mood.
A noble aspiration, to be sure. So, did your dad seem excited about coming here, or kind of?
Daddy never really gets excited about anything. Except, well, sometimes he gets very excited when he has to go to work and he knows someone's going to get fired that day.
Yikes.
Wow, I hate that.
He takes another bite of cake.
Well, I was going to ask you if you know the birthday boy, but I guess that's a no-go, huh?
I hate birthday parties where I'm not the birthday boy.
Oh, God.
Does he still have cake in both his hands?
Yes.
Great, I'm gonna fucking bounce because this kid's useless.
He takes one chunk of cake and splats on the ground and tries to grab your tail. Noodles, don't go! And you'll have to roll a
Dex save.
A dex save to try not to get grabbed.
Oh, well, that didn't land correctly. Oh my god, I did it again.
Yeah, this is the sound of someone cheating at Dungeons and Dragons.
I rolled a natural 20.
Yeah.
I super didn't. I rolled a 12.
A 12. Okay. I mean, he is a child. You managed to evade his sticky, frostingy grasp, but he does grab your tail, so you get a bunch of frosting on your tail as you slide away and off into the party. You hear him sort of call from the distance, like, "Noodles, come back!" All right, cool. Let's flip over to Storm and Randy. What's going on?
From where I am, I want it to be at a distance from Birthday Minotaur, and I want to A, cast Detect Magic on the crown he's wearing, and B, cast Hunter's Mark on him so I can move my Hunter's Mark to him so I can track him.
Cool. Great. Neither of those you have to roll anything specific for, right? They just happen.
No.
Cool. Your Hunter's Mark is now on Boggle, and the Detect Magic on his crown. You do not see any special properties to the crown he is wearing. It's just a very nice piece of jewelry.
Okay, I was just wondering. Ooh.
Storm is gonna find somewhere to be alone for a second and take off her disguise self spell so that she looks like Storm again and not Bunny. And she's gonna re-enter the party. And I'm gonna find the birthday boy. Because I'm not a public hero, so there's a bit of a difference there. And I'm going to go up and I'm just going to be like, hey, man, happy birthday. It's so good to see you.
And Boggle says, oh, it's so good to see you, too. I feel like I've seen your face somewhere before.
I get that. I get that a lot. I got one of those faces. People think I look like lots of people, but I mean, we have met before. We went on that crazy adventure. It was like a bunch of there's a big group of us, and I was one of the people there, and you were one of the other people. And I don't know, when our mutual friend said you were having a party, I was like, I gotta show up and wish him a happy birthday.
Well, now I know you're lying to me because I ain't never been on an adventure outside the city in my entire life, much to my chagrin.
Well, an adventure is whatever you make of it. I say adventure, I mean, hanging out at the local tavern. Everything's an adventure to me, dude.
Let's see. It's like, well, all right. I don't really remember you, though. What's your name?
Oh, me? I'm Stacy.
Stacy. It's a nice name. It sounds real.
Thank you. It's a human name.
Oh, good. Well, welcome to the party. Feel free to mingle. We've got food. We've got dancing if you're a dancing type.
I wanted to say that this place is gorgeous. Like, how do you get the foliage to look so jacked? I don't know. And as I'm doing this, I'm kind of caressing his arm a little bit.
Oh my God.
There's a lot of things around here are kind of beefy.
Very brave of you to try to entice this male identified character in the queer episode of the show. He says, well, that would be a garden house family secret. Excuse me, can I help you? Looking over at your stroking his fur there.
I just touching his arm, really, just a little something. And I'm like, oh no, there's something on your arm. I'm just commenting about how how amazing this place is. Really, it's great. Realizing I'm maybe barking up the wrong tree, I'm gonna try to go find Randy.
If you can't fuck the Minotaur, I can't either, Tess.
No, Randy can fuck this Minotaur. Where's Randy?
Oh, I want to fuck the Minotaur.
Garden family secret. Yeah, I guess once I kind of hear it's a secret, I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm gonna try to leave this party and break into the main house.
So, as you start to head for the door, there's sort of everybody starts clinking glasses, and you have to look. A different Minotaur is standing up in front of everyone with Boggle next to her, and she says, well, I'm so glad all of you could attend for my son's 22nd birthday. He is growing up so quickly, and we're all so proud of him. Why, it won't be long until he takes over for his late father, God rest his soul's, business 100%. Everyone raise a glass to my son, Boggle. And everyone raises a glass, and it's very good. Please continue to enjoy the party. Have a great time. If you have any gifts, we're going to be leaving them off to the side. And if anyone needs anything else, please feel free. Just ask myself or Zachary. And she sort of indicates the butler who let you in the door. Zachary can help you as well. And everyone have a great time.
Yeah, I'm gonna find my friends and break into this house.
Great. Gang all meets up to go break into the house.
Yes, we do.
All right. As you're walking across the grounds, you see that there are some guards.
No, I'm stealthing. We're stealthing across the ground.
Oh, I'm gonna cast Pass Without a Trace.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Oh, wait, do you have that yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta read people's character sheets before we do these things.
So it's not on D&D Beyond because it wouldn't let me add spells. I picked them before the show.
Okay, cool.
I did.
What? So what does the spell do? This horrifying spell.
We get to add 10 to our stealth rolls, I think.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's 4 armor, I believe.
Everyone roll a stealth check. It's dark. Roll a stealth check with advantage.
5 plus 10, 15.
All right. Guards, this is how you know we're actually rolling dice. The guards rolled a natural 1.
Okay, really quick, just real quick, Connor. I just like for my own benefit. Does a 31 do it?
Let me check.
Would a 31?
What's 1 minus 31? Negative 30? Okay, yeah, that works.
Connor,
Yeah.
what about 34?
Ooh, the cat
Ooh.
is out of the bag.
I feel like I
Ooh.
would have done better if my tail wasn't covered in frosting.
That's fair. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I lose my hunter's mark on Boggle.
Well, everyone does very, very well and goes up to the main house. The front door is unlocked. You could easily go inside and explore around. Is there a particular room in the house you would like to go to?
Probably
Who's the
a parent's study would have the most information, is what my hunch is. Like, just somewhere that would have like book of our evil doings, the book of the pact we keep with the Fae. Like that's kind of what I'm looking for.
And I go to Boggle's room.
Okay, cool. So let's say everyone's going to go to a different place. We're going to do 3 rooms at once. Let's start with Storm. Storm, you're in the study. Do you want to roll an investigation check to see if
I
you
would
find
love to roll an investigation check. Hang on. Keep folding my sheet, forgetting I'm going to need it again. Ooh, nice.
every D&D game is just like a second of like, all right, I'll do the thing.
That's going to be a dirty 20.
Okay, that's excellent. So, messing around in this room, you open one of the drawers in a desk, and you find a something that seems very out of place. A very fancy-looking key that has where the sort of like loop top part of the key is. It is the sort of silhouette of a horse, and yeah, it looks like a very nice, ornate, expensive, almost possibly magical key that is, you're not absolutely certain, but, and it does have sort of like the look of a horse on the top of it.
Okay.
Cool.
Do I find anything else in the study? Do I
That's
find any gold?
There's, you find 14 gold.
Perfect. I take the gold.
Excellent. You find a lot of documents about like selling stuff. There's a lot of stuff about like them selling plants and flowers to various other parts of the city, selling fruit and things like that. It seems like a lot of their sort of in city estate, the land that they have, is taken up by them like having very expensive, very fancy plants and flowers that they sell.
Cool.
They're merchants. Very crass.
Yes. But they're like, it seems like that's just sort of like a sideline kind of a thing. Like it's, you buy it because it's theirs. You don't buy it because it's like, this is the only way to get flowers. You could leave it and get flowers, but this is like garden house, like pumpkins is like where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah. You shop here to be seen. Cool. Let's look at what's going on in another room. Randy, what are you doing?
I'm going to Boggle's room just to see if anything's up. If there's anything that I imagine a like bro minotaur might not have in their room. I got the impression that he was a bro. That was just me.
That's fair. There he seems like sort of like a pretty butch, polite society kind of a fella. And he, when you go in the room, you find that there's very little personality to it. It has some like paintings on the walls, but there's no like there's no like posters or like personalized pieces of art. You could just be walking into almost any other bedroom. The only thing that sets it apart is it says Master Boggle on the outside of it.
Oh, okay. I'll just make a quick investigation check to see if there's anything odd Nat 20!
Oh, amazing. Nat 20. Okay, cool. With the Nat 20, you are looking around on the you're looking around and you find let's find a journal. You find his journal on one of the shelves. Do you open it and read it?
I absolutely do.
Excellent. As you read through it, there's like a lot of pedestrian stuff, but one thing that jumps out to you as you read through his journal is that he talks a lot about wanting to join the Heroes Guild and thinking heroes are the coolest thing in the world and loving heroes and wishing he could become a hero. He has information about various famous heroes. There's pages dedicated to Bunny Barnett talking about how cool she is and cool exploits she's done. There's pages about William Hi-Ho Sweetveet, who is the founder of the Heroes Guild, and various other people. And he talks about the kind of hero he would want to be, what he would do, stuff like that. So he seems really interested in heroes.
Oh, that's cute.
Isn't it?
Someone hasn't been watching My Hero Academia recently.
Yeah. I just put it back.
So you put it back. So there's Mittens, what are you doing while this is all going on?
I would like to trot down to the house kitchen area.
Okay.
First of all, see if I smell any other cats. And if I don't, proceed out and see if they have a kitchen garden kind of a situation and what's going on out there.
So there is a very large fancy kitchen. Before you can go into it though, it seems like that is the only place in the house that is illuminated right now. And it seems like there's a lot of activity going in there. People preparing food. You can hear the sounds of food being prepared, stuff being, vegetables being chopped up. There's delightful smells of things being cooked. But the door is shut, but you can see that there's light beyond it. So you'd have to sort of be very careful opening the door to look in.
It seems weird that they wouldn't be done by now.
Well, it's like a party, so it's like they continually bring out food on buffet, so it's like, oh, this is done, make more of this, and they keep going into the night.
Well, I mean, that's a good thing to avoid then, I guess. Does it smell like cats?
No.
Okay.
I want to find my other party members and show them this weird key and think that we should maybe say that we should check out the stables possibly because of the horse.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Go to the stables.
Cool. We're going to the stables.
We're going to the stables. All right. So it's a fairly large stable. Each of the stalls is only a half wall, so you can see into them. It's not like you'd have to peek in to see the horses. It's sort of just half height. You can see that the stalls that have horses and the stalls that don't. The ground of the stables is covered with a thin layer of hay. There's a storage area above where the horses are kept with a ladder and a very small crane-like device to lift up bales of hay for storage. And there's probably some other stuff stored up there. Like most of the grounds, there are vines and plants winding their way around the support beams and other bits of woodwork. So even inside of these sort of outbuildings, there are bits of vines winding their way up the various pieces of wood. And there's a bunch of horses in here.
Do they have a farm cat?
There is no barn cat.
What's wrong with these people?
Can I do an investigation to see what matches this key?
Nothing matches the key.
Nothing matches this key.
There's the stalls aren't locked with keys. They just have sort of things there. Looking around just casually, you don't see anything that seems to match it. There's nothing that's locked. I think you'd have to do sort of a more general investigation to find something.
Yeah, can I do an investigation check?
Yes.
Anyone helping me? Everyone doing their own? I don't know.
I am going to cast. Do I want to cast Detect Magic again? Because that's my last first level spell slot. Oh, Connor, I'm sorry. I thought I was reading 5th level by accident. I don't have 2nd level spell slots. I'm sorry. That pass without a trace shouldn't have happened.
Well, next time.
I'm sorry. I will PayPal you $1 whole after the show is over.
If it makes you feel any better, they rolled a natural 1, so you all were fine.
We would have been fine. I got a dirty 20 again for investigation.
Stomping around the floor, you step over some floor, and suddenly there's like a, the subtle thump of stepping on a trap door. You shuffle some things aside, and you see that there is a door. There is sort of a trap door hidden in the floor with a sort of like a handle built into it that has a keyhole. And it seems like it matches the key you have in your hand.
Cool. Before I do it, I want to turn to, that's a spell slot though. I was going to ask you to cast Detect Magic, but I actually think you should maybe hold off. I'm going to tell everyone to back up, and I'm just going to fucking do it. I'm going to stick it in the key slot and turn it.
Fucking do it.
Okay, cool. You open it?
Yes.
I love when the DM asks questions like that. So you open it?
Okay, is everyone within 150 feet of the opening?
Are you sure you do that?
Away 200 feet.
Does anyone have immunity to fire damage? No. Okay, cool. You open it, and when you open it, there's a dark pit, and it's very dark. You'd have to light something to be able to see.
I have dark vision.
Okay.
Superior dark vision.
Everyone has dark vision. You have dark vision too, don't you, Mittens?
What?
Do you have dark vision?
Yeah, I'm a cat.
Yeah, I figured. Okay, everyone has dark vision. Go team.
This is not an issue for any of us. Oh, cool.
My dark vision's superior, if that makes a difference.
It does not. So you were able to see in here, and at the bottom of it's sort of like a hole. It doesn't go super deep down, just like a story down. There's a ladder that leads down. At the bottom of the hole is a unicorn. That most magical and powerful of beasts. A unicorn, a thing that can make plants grow and create entire bountiful, beautiful areas of land just by its mere existence, is sitting in a hole in the bottom of the garden house stables.
I want to shout down and go, how sentient are you?
Does anyone speak any of these languages? Celestial, Elvish, Sylvan?
I'm sorry, Celestial?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Elvish.
Mittens. Oh, and Mittens, you know what? So here's what happens. The Storm, you hear Celestial. Randy, you hear Elvish. Mittens, there's just telepathy in your head because unicorns can talk to animals. It's like a thing. You just hear the sound in your head, and the creature says, "Well, it's about time. Let's get the hell out of here." And then the unicorn just disappears and then reappears like right behind all three of you.
Whoa.
Cool. I'm gonna go, this is amazing. What would make this even more amazing is if I could go like blast the fuck out of some rich people. I would know I would love that.
Let's try to kill two birds with one stone. What a terrible metaphor. Let's try to kill
a great metaphor.
with one stone.
Yes.
And get me back to the forest and try to cause as much damage along the way as we can.
Perfect. If everybody hangs back for a second, I know how we can pop this shit off.
Ooh. I can cast Fog Cloud if you want to make it, if you want some cover while you do it.
Can't really see in Fog Cloud, which would make it hard for Storm.
I was thinking we could all get on my back. Now, don't get the wrong idea. This is just for the circumstances we're in. Yes?
Oh,
yes.
No. I was just.
Oh, no.
Can I cast Shatter on the fucking greenhouse thing?
Yeah.
Hang on. Before we do any of that, what I figured we could do is you could all hop on my back. Again, don't get the wrong idea. And we could ride out of here, causing as much damage along the way as possible. Can we? But someone would have to burst open this barn door first. I don't have thumbs. You know what's up.
We can just open up the door, right? Or does it need to be like burst through? Can we open the door up?
I mean, if you want to just open the door, that's fine. Your story.
Well, because I have what I want to do, but I want to do it when we're a little bit closer to the party. How close are we to the bulk of the party?
It's like outside is sort of the front area where you all walk along that path, and the greenhouse, the ballroom, the garden house ballroom that's sort of like a greenhouse is next to it there, and it's a very big building with the glass ceiling.
Yeah, I want to. Well, because I kind of want to just like stealth up to the party real quick, and then have shit pop off. We're kind of near the where the greenhouse full of people are.
Okay.
I definitely we can do a whole bunch of shit at the same time. If you cast Shatter, and I throw a bomb, and I can also give another bomb to Randy, and we can have 2 bombs and Shatter.
And we're
Right
going
off
to toss a
the
bomb,
party.
and I'm going to fog cloud right after that, so there's just nothing but pandemonium.
Nice.
Okay.
I mean,
Oh, I'm also not riding the unicorn. That's barbaric. Bethany!
The spider like burst through the door.
Oh, what did you eat, darling? I hope you ate well.
Oh, I also give Mittens their equipment back, just to put that on the record.
Great. Cool. So you're on Bethany. You're gonna throw some shit. Our Mittens and Storm are gonna throw some shit, and then we're gonna jump on the unicorn and ride off into the night.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a bomb into the party, and then we can ride off into the night. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm also bombing and casting fog
Yeah, I
cloud
gave
right after I
Randy
do.
a bomb too, so that we all have something to do.
Great. So you all sort of like there's like a countdown. Probably there's like okay 3, 2, 1. Everybody throws their stuff. The 2 explosives are they thrown on the roof or are you throwing them in the front door?
I think I'm gonna throw in the front door. Yeah.
if I break I mean, this isn't technically the definition of what this spell is for, but Connor, if you will let me adapt it to just shattering all these windows, they can just yeet them right on in there.
This is all about queering the definition of Dungeons and Dragons. So here we are.
Yeah.
So use it. Yeah. So you can do that. You can break the glass ceiling and rain glass down on all the.
Yeah, and then we yeet some bombs into the mix.
Yeah, and then I'm going to cast fog cloud before that, so it's just nothing but pandemonium and then bombs just dropping on them.
So that happens. The ceiling starts crashing inwards. You hear a bunch of screams. There's like that you distinctly hear Arthur saying, "My word!" And then like there's all this. The explosives are going off. Everything's going crazy. And the unicorn says, "Let's get the fuck out of here." And let's see, Storm and Mittens are on top of the unicorn. Randy is on top of Bethany, and you all start riding out. And there's only one way to get you all to the gate to get out of the city, and that is, of course, through a montage.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the way a montage works, it's pretty straightforward. You're going to try to get to the eastern gate and to the forest. You're going to each in turn order going to use skills to progress. You have to roll higher than a 15 in order to succeed. The way it works is just, so like you could say like, I'm going to use my animal handling to convince this cow to get out of the way of us as we're going along. And then you roll an animal handling check with your modifier. And if you get more than a 15, you succeed, and that's a success. You need a certain number of successes to get through this. You can't use the same skill more than once, and that goes cumulatively. So if Mittens uses animal handling, then Randy and Storm can also use animal handling. And then you can also cast a spell in order to give the next person in the order advantage. And I think the order that's going to make the most sense to me is we're just going to do Storm, Randy, and Mittens in that order.
Yeah,
It's not mirrored. Is going to be the order we do. And then if it comes around and we all 3 people go, we'll circle back to the beginning of the order, but I'll also get to make a move as well. And I can do horrible things to you to try to get out of there. So you all are riding on top of this unicorn along with this giant spider towards the exit. What do you all do? Let's start with Storm to try to get through this mess.
Yeah, I guess as we're riding this unicorn, I'm going to make just like a dexterity check as I try to like stand on this horse and like fire back into the crowd as we're kind of like moving away.
I love it. So it's precision firing dex check.
Yeah.
You're being chased by a bunch of guards.
I'm standing on this unicorn. I wanted that to be clear. I am standing on this unicorn. That's going to be an 18.
That is a success. You do that, and it's very cool looking. And you knock a few guards off of like their horses as they're chasing you and slow them down. Excellent. Continuing on, Randy, what do you do?
I'm gonna pull so I'm really elfy, right? I'm gonna pull some straight like Lord of the Rings shit and just like murmur in Elven and Undercommon to my like spider and just be like, ride swiftly, climb into the night, my sweet, like some weird shit like that.
Okay, and what are we using for that? Is that animal handling?
I was gonna use animal handling.
Animal handling.
Animal handling is it's a 12.
Ooh, not quite. So like you see 8 little eyes roll in their heads as they're like, it's like every time with the ride into the night. So sick of that. It does not get you any closer to where
she gets that really often.
Yeah. And then Mittens, what do you do as you stride atop this mighty steed, this magical unicorn?
I'm going to give Storm advantage, and as we ride past some like a cart or something, side of the road, I'm going to cast fireballs at it so that the people pursuing us are now encountering a flaming object.
Okay, cool. So you set the cart on fire.
Set the cart on fire.
Excellent. You all continue to run along, and as you do continue to run, that's that one. Okay, cool. Let's see. Okay, cool. Sorry, rolling a bunch of dice to see who's going to get hit by these arrows. Spoiler alert, it's arrows. Storm, you get as you're running along, some archers on one of the walls in the district fire some arrows at you. You get hit with one of the arrows, and you're going to take 3 piercing damage.
Okay.
Ow.
I know. What a bummer. Things can be very difficult with the golden butt. All right, great. We're back at the top of the order. Storm, what do you do?
Cool.
With advantage.
I think that I'm gonna cast a spell, give the next person advantage, and she casts Mind Sliver on just one of the people that are pursuing her, which is just like a painful psychological spell.
Okay, cool. We'll have stacked up 2 advantages.
Oh, is that what we did? I'm sorry, I didn't realize that's what we did. Okay, hang on. Then, if that's the case, I'm gonna roll strength to just try to get buck the horse a bit to get it the unicorn to get it just to move a little bit faster, and try to just kind of do that.
Roll it.
Cool. Okay. I picked the medium for me, but it's okay. I got advantage. Nat 20.
Okay, cool. You managed to the unicorn. The unicorn looks at you after you sort of looks back at you and is kind of like, really? And then it's kind of like, I guess I could go faster, and then starts going much faster.
Yeah. I was like, well, I didn't think it, shouting. I didn't think we needed to have a whole conversation about it.
Neither did I, but here we are.
I'm gonna guess.
Randy, what do you do?
I'm gonna talk to Bethany. I'm gonna say, shrug your trepidation, stalwart steed, and let us ride into the dark. And also, that kind of hurt my feelings. We've been through a lot, and I want to seem cool in front of the adventurers. Please, Bethany. I'm sorry. I won't tell you to go into the dark anymore. We can talk more casually, like coworkers.
Is this persuasion?
What? I guess it would. I rolled animal handling, which is 23. My persuasion, I think, is higher.
You can't do the same thing twice.
Yeah.
Oh, then I'm gonna do persuasion.
All right, persuasion's arguably better. What do you get with persuasion?
I'm just going to ask Bethany, all right, come on, please.
Yeah, and what? Cool. What do you get? What's your result?
I got a 20. I got a 19 plus 4, 23.
Oh, damn, you see in the near distance, you see the gates, the eastern gates of the city. Just through there is the forest and sweet, sweet freedom. What do you, Mittens, what do you do?
This is not a situation that plays to a lot of my strengths, but I'm gonna give it a whirl. I'm gonna kind of hop up so people can see me and just just start yelling curse words at in an attempt to alarm them. Basically, I want them to go, holy shit, a talking cat, and like stumble back for a second. So I'm gonna try to intimidate these people by swearing.
Okay.
A cursing cat.
It's a 10.
Oh, they are not. They don't seem particularly more intimidated by the screaming cat on top of the unicorn than they did by the unicorn itself. A noted, powerful mythical beast. And then it looks like one of the guards chasing after you on a horseback grabs a rock and throws it. Okay, Storm, you take 3 bludgeoning damage.
Just Storm.
And we're back around to the top of the order. It seems like you're right about at the door. It seems like if you can find a way to get this gate open, you're home free.
Are we like at the gate?
Yeah.
Can I do sleight of hand to get the gate open?
Yeah.
Cool. Perfect. That's gonna be a 15 exactly.
Oh, amazing! You sleight of handed, and the unicorn sort of, you know what? While you're like working on the lock, the unicorn like nudges you, and you look, and the unicorn's like, "How does it feel when someone does it to you?"
He almost just like knocks him out. I'm like, it's not the same.
And then the lock clicks, and it opens, and the door swings open, and the unicorn, all of you start run off into the forest and pause out there in a clearing. So you're out in the clearing with the unicorn. No one can seem to find you. They've sort of like given up the ghost. Plus unicorns, once they get to the forest, it's like they just sort of disappear. They can teleport wherever the hell they want. They're great. It's good that it's on your side. And the unicorn, you get down off the unicorn. You're all standing there, and it says, well, thank you very much for carrying out this request to save me. You are all incredible heroes. I think I'm very fortunate. And then from around the tree, the old lady who gave you the mission appears and says, oh, good, gracious leader of the forest. It's so good to have you return to us after all this time. And then
so you knew there was a unicorn in there, and you told us to go in without that information. This could have been shorter.
I feel like that could have made our job a lot easier. You could have told us, "Hey, be on the lookout for a unicorn," and we would have said, "All right, let's check the stables. That's where a horse creature might be."
Listen, if I told you everything about the mission, and then the woman sort of just disappears. And then in the spot where the woman was is this like sort of like 3 foot tall with wings hovering little creature with like long pointy ears and antennae and sharp pointy teeth that looks at you and says, then what kind of fey creature would I be? Oh, you're good. You're good. This is not your first time. Not your first time. No, I wouldn't kidnap you. But I was wondering if you could just give me your name so I can remember all of you.
My name. I look at this person. I go. My name is Bunny Barnett.
Listen,
find me most places.
We're all friends here. There's no need to lie. But that was very good. You're very clever. You honorary Fae right there, honorary Fae. You know what? Honorary Fae all around, all of you.
That's right on my character sheet.
Yeah, that's gonna go on the character. Wait, I am Fae. I have Fae ancestors. I'm an honorary Fae.
Okay,
I could be Fae. Nobody knows.
That is true.
Maybe I know, and I'm just not telling you. And then the creature just disappears. And where the creature was is are 3 small pieces of tree bark that have symbols carved into them, just sitting on the ground for you to take if you should so want them.
I take one. I put one in Min's pack.
Cool. And as you look behind you, the unicorn is nowhere to be seen. But on the ground where the unicorn was standing is a small piece of sort of like golden rock. It's not like a pure piece of gold. It seems to be a piece of rock with some magical properties. And you know this to be actually. Someone give me a Arcana check.
Jimmy, were you doing the cat thing where a cat just like plays with a fucking item?
Oh yeah, I'm just like
I got a
Catting with it? I fucking that my cat doesn't.
You know what?
15.
15? With a 15, you know that this is unicorn dung, which if planted with a seed of any kind, will cause the plant to grow no matter the conditions in which it lives.
I have a bag and I pick it up with the bag and I like turn the bag inside out. You know.
Thank you for picking up your poop.
And that is the end of our wonderful Queerly performance check adventure.
Thank
Yay!
Yay!
Story of the unicorn and the firstborn.
Yeah. I like that. Great job, Connor.
We had a lot of fun. You know, we made it in time. We did a good job. Y'all look great.
What are we going to say here at the
Around
end?
the world. What did you say?
Do we have things to mention here at the end of the show?
Do we have things? Jimmy, do you have anything you want to mention specifically?
you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Roll a Performance Check. Queerly goes on through July 4th. It's all on the website, frigid.nyc.
This is a suggested donation show. If you liked what you saw, please consider donating. Or if you're just interested in donating and supporting the small theater arts during this weird period, please consider becoming a Patreon member on Frigid New York's Patreon. You can find it at Frigid New York. Same thing with all of our social media handles.
And I would also say we're in the world we live in right now. A lot of the live theater media is transitioning to an online state, and I think everyone in the art community is trying to figure out exactly how it works, how it all fits together, how to do it. If you have any thoughts or feelings about this show, things that worked, things that didn't work, hit us up on one of our social media platforms, and because we would love to hear your feedback. We'd love to do this again, and we'd love to do it in a way that makes you happy, since this is all about you.
Yeah.
And I would like to say I'm really happy to be here.
Aw, thanks.
And I love my friends.
Yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching.
Thank you. Happy Pride.
Thank you.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Happy Wrath.
Hell yeah.
Happy Wrath.